The following contains coarse language. Viewer discretion is advised.
Goodbye. Won't say goodbye.
I'm just thinking to myself, oh, I should have a video rolling so I could record our conversation about, oh, I'm back. But I'm not gonna, because it's like, well, I don't want to be doing that. I want to be a part of life, and I don't need to record everything in my life. No one gives a shit.
Joseph Park, barrister at law.
God, I can't do this with you making me laugh. Someone thinks that they're doing something correctly, they don't come for help. But the truth is, I was offered a cabin. We take pride in that, to say, George, that we are probably the cleanest.
Wanting to make this film, making this the last film that I make. I'm not quite sure why I'm recording this exactly. It's the filmmaker in me, I guess. Things have changed a lot for me.
This is me trying to organize the storage and build some more shelves on a rainy day. Okay, so since the last time you saw the storage unit, right, so I added the bottom shelf, the table, that's removable as well, in case you want to move it, right? I've added another shelf. Look at this, it's so good. Anyways, this is going to be another shelf right up there as well. A couple of small shelves here. I might put a shelf across the top, I don't know. This is all going to be shelved in this one side with small interior shelves, and then up top above the door is going to be a shelf, and possibly slats in the roof so I can put long poles. And that's the room now. Gosh, I really do wish I would have done before and after. It's awesome. And this had doors, so you couldn't get in at all. So there it is. And Folgers in your cup. You know, I'm sitting here taking a bit of a break. You know, and as I'm working, and I've been working and I'm thinking about my life, and I mentioned this earlier, like what I'm going to do after this, and there's a lot of things like gaps that things I haven't talked about in between that sort of connect the events in my life. You know, and the thing is, you know, I think everyone has this picture of what their life is going to be like and what they want for their life. You know, and a lot of this they've learned or been taught by other people, or in media and so forth. And we think, oh, well, that's what I want. Well, that's an idea. But there's a lot of ideas of how life can be and how life can be lived. You know, until you get older. When you get older, it's when you start to discover those other possibilities of life. And until you get to those other possibilities, you think that there's this one way of having life. There really isn't. And something we know this, but until you've experienced it, you don't really get it. You know? So I think to myself of, what do I imagine my life being like? What I really, really want. And a lot of times we jump the gun at things, and that's fine for the most part, but to really be lost, I mean, that's a huge thing. Not many people really are lost. They watch TV and movies and they sort of learn the reactions of life. Oh, to be surprised. Oh my God, I haven't seen you in a long time. Oh, that's really sad. And it's really not. You're overreacting. It's what you've been taught how to react. But that's not what you really feel, which frustrates the hell out of me. People are like that. I've hated it always, because half the time you're not really surprised, you're not really happy, and you're just putting it on, which is frustrating for me. It's just be you. I mean, the truth be told, life really is boring. You gotta remember that what we see online and TV, most of it's edited, right? So, when I think about my reaction to where I want to go, it's sort of neutral. But I'm lost. To really be lost, it's not that dramatic. I mean, I've seen people go through it and I think, yeah, you're not. You just think you are. But for me, it's interesting. I'm at a crossroads in my life where there's things I could do. Potentially, just getting there is an issue. But what do I want to do? I've done so much. I don't really know what the next step for me is. In one regard, I keep thinking about doing this business, this cafe. But I can barely even get a loan for anything. Oops, sorry. Whew. I can barely get a loan for anything because my credit's so shitty. For the past 5-6 years, I've been confused and mixed up with this other person. Well, the situation is either my credit's been stolen, my name, or, the thing is, when I went to the bank to type in and we checked everything out, 2 names came up with my SIN number. So it's just a complete bullshit calamity. Which is interesting because for years I haven't had a credit card. I have one now. And I've just done everything on cash and saved up my money. It's not impossible, right? It's amazing. And my thing is, I tell people, look, you want something for your future, you need to save, cut corners. That's why I lived in such squalor, quote unquote, for so many years, almost 10 years, just so I could save up all this money to do something with, and then I fucking blew it. So I regret it? Yeah, in part I do. But anyways. So I sit here in the shed thinking about what's the future of my life going to be and how much energy and what am I willing to sacrifice again to do that. And it's like one thing I really have to think about that. Like right now I can't spend any money at all with my car insurance and the monthly payments. So I'm still paying it off. Can't spend any money because turns out like up here I've done the math. I'm not going to make any real money. Nothing. Yeah, which is an issue, sort of. Someone pulls me over and sees my license is expired. Not my license, but insurance is expired. Which it's not, but once it gets to that point, right? By the end of this 4 months or so that I'm going to live here in this area, it's going to happen. So it's a question of where do you go after? What do you do next? And I really have no place in my mind that I want to go or work or stay or be. I've gone through dozens of thoughts and yeah. There's the rain. So, being lost in your life, not a bad thing, really. I hate it in a way. But if you're someone that feels that that's where you're at in your life, one thing, have you explored other possibilities? Because there's a lot of ways of living your life, of having a life. And for me, I've experienced a lot. But none of those are appealing to me. And I think of others that are appealing in the future, possibly. And they are, in a way, but I just can't seem to wrap my mind around it. And that's also because I'm struggling with so many inner other problems with depression and abuse. And those things are still things I have to work on. Good God, when you're paying $80 an hour for a therapist, who can get beyond that? And yet you have to work. So, I say, really try other avenues. If you think you're lost, really just step out of that zone. Give your notice to work. Have the fear of finding something different. And get a brand new job. Something you've never done. And then you can start being able to compare your life to other things that you've done and other lives you've had. And then finding out what you really fit. Not just that one ideal. Because that one ideal that you might want, once you get it, you might realize it's not what you want. I know what my one ideal is. It's what I still want. But finding it... I don't know, because I had this ideal that I made my life to be, And now could I go back? I don't know, for a lot of reasons. Film, don't really want to do that. The destruction that we'd make with it, the waste of money. The family life, yeah, I want that, but like, can I ever go back to that ideal that I had? I don't know, because I had it with someone, something. It's being done. It's not necessarily the right time or place for me right now for that. So many other things in my mind that I want to do, but it's just, I'm lost as to what to do now and how to get there. There's this gap, and it's weird for me because I've never had that. I've always said, I remember saying, I'm going to do this, and then I did it, and I succeeded. So I say to people out there that are getting to the point of saying, I'm lost, you really have to look at, are you really, or are you just watching too many fucking movies? If you are, I think you need to change something in your life. Start with your job, start with new activities, enrich your life with new things, new experiences. And when you've done that, maybe you realize you're really not lost. You just need to put some more in your life or change some things around. As for me, when you get to that point where I've done so much, I wonder what the hell else do I put in my life? So, I think some people wonder, what have I really done? And I'm going to have to eventually do a big documentary, which is what I've been trying to do for a while. Filling in those gaps, people asking, well, how much, well, yeah. But, I look at, it just all comes down to time and money. And here I can't make enough money to really get to that next step. So, let's, see, I don't know. But I tell you, being lost and depressed, it's actually the nice solitude that I'm having right now is ironically sitting in a storage shed drinking coffee. But I can be happy with it. It's nice. Rain coming down. It's nice. Music. Peaceful. My mind is running a mile a minute, but it's peaceful.